What is God? Part 2. Science, Consciousness, and the Living Reality of the Divine. The dialogue between science and spirituality. For centuries, people have placed science and spirituality in opposition, as if they were enemies. Science, they say, deals with facts, while spirituality deals with beliefs. But what happens when science begins to touch the very edges of reality, the place where language breaks down, where numbers and formulas point toward mystery? Modern physics has revealed a universe that is not the clockwork machine we once imagined. Matter is not solid, but vibrating energy fields. At the quantum level, particles behave in ways that defy logic existing in two places at once, influenced by the act of observation itself. Does this mean science has proven God? Not at all, but it does reveal that reality is far stranger, more interconnected, and more mysterious than our senses can grasp. And this opens the door to a deeper recognition. What if what we call God is the very intelligence underlying this mystery? Consciousness as the key. The greatest puzzle science still faces is not the atom, or the galaxy, or the laws of physics. It is consciousness itself. Think about it. You are reading these words. Letters form into meanings. Thoughts rise in your mind. But who is aware of those thoughts? What is the light of awareness that makes experience possible at all? Science can measure brain activity, neurons firing, chemical exchanges. But none of this explains the raw fact of awareness itself, the undeniable reality of I am. Some neuroscientists argue consciousness is just a byproduct of the brain, but others point out that this is an assumption, not a fact. What if consciousness is not produced by the brain, but rather the foundation of the universe itself? If so, then what we call God is not a distant being, but the infinite consciousness in which the entire universe appears, including your own thoughts and emotions. God as infinite intelligence. Let's reflect on the precision of existence. The human body is made of trillions of cells, each a miniature universe, working in harmony. DNA contains instructions written in a language more complex than any human code. The laws of physics are so finely tuned that even the slightest variation would make life impossible. Coincidence? Random chance? Or could it be that what we call God is this unfathomable intelligence woven into the fabric of reality? But here is the twist. This intelligence is not separate from you. It is expressing itself as you. Your thoughts, your creativity, your heartbeat, your breath, all are waves in the ocean of infinite intelligence. The trap of duality. Many people still imagine God in dualistic terms. Creator on one side, creation on the other. But this view leads to separation. God is up there, and we are down here. Yet what if creation is not separate from the Creator, but rather the Creator expressing itself in infinite forms? Consider fire and its flames. You never say the flame is separate from fire. The flame is fire in action. In the same way, every atom, every thought, every being is the divine in expression. This realization dissolves the false duality. God is not a being among beings. God is being itself, the infinite field in which all forms arise and dissolve. The personal dimension. You might ask, if God is this infinite consciousness, why do I feel so limited? Why do I suffer, doubt, and struggle? Here we enter the heart of the human journey. The infinite consciousness has manifested as countless individual perspectives, you, me, everyone. Each perspective is like a unique window through which the universe looks at itself. But along the way, we forget. We identify only with the small self, the body, the ego, the story of me. We mistake the wave for something separate from the ocean. Spiritual awakening is not about becoming something new, but about remembering what has always been true, that you are not separate from the source. How to experience this reality? This might sound abstract, but it can be profoundly practical. There are many ways to begin experiencing God, rather than just thinking about God. Here are a few. 1. Silence and stillness. Sit in silence, close your eyes, and observe. Watch your thoughts rise and fall. Notice that you are not your thoughts, you are the awareness in which they appear. That awareness is the spark of the infinite. 2. Contemplation of nature. Walk in a forest, gaze at the stars, or simply watch the rhythm of your breath. Let yourself feel awe. Awe is the doorway to God, because it dissolves the small ego and opens you to the vastness of being. 3. Compassion and love. When you act with genuine love, not for reward, not for recognition, but simply because love flows, you are experiencing God in action. For God is love, expressed through you. 4. Deep inquiry. Ask yourself, who am I? Go beyond labels, roles, and stories. Every answer you give is temporary. Push deeper. Eventually, you may glimpse the truth that who you are is not a limited self, but the infinite awareness itself. The fear of letting go. Why don't more people live in this awareness? Because the ego is terrified of dissolving. The ego survives by clinging to separation. I am me, you are you, God is out there. To awaken is to let this illusion fall away. And to the ego, this feels like death. But here is the paradox. What dies is only the false identity. What remains is freedom, love, and unshakable peace. It is like a drop of water fearing to fall into the ocean, afraid it will disappear. But in truth, the drop does not vanish. It becomes the ocean. Why this changes everything? When you begin to see God not as a distant ruler, but as the infinite consciousness expressing itself as everything, life shifts dramatically. Fear softens, because you realize you are never separate. Gratitude deepens, because every moment is seen as sacred. Compassion grows, because you see yourself in others. Purpose becomes clearer, because life is not random, it is an unfolding of infinite intelligence. This is not about adopting new beliefs. It is about seeing reality more clearly. And once seen, it cannot be unseen. The ongoing mystery. And yet, no matter how much we describe, the divine remains a mystery. The mind can only go so far. At the edge of understanding, words dissolve into silence. But perhaps that is the truest prayer. Not to define God, but to sit in awe of the mystery. As the saying goes, those who know, speak not. Those who speak, know not. And yet, we speak, not to capture the infinite, but to remind ourselves of the invitation. To awaken, to love, to live in awareness of the source.